Hi, I'm Jeff, Customer Success Manager at GoPinLeads. Our webinar is going to start on time today. We're just waiting for a few more people to join us so that we can begin. While we wait, I want to encourage anyone who's still watching on the GoPinLeads website. That's gopinleads.com/webinars. If you're still watching on the website, I want you to click on the window that you're watching me in now. You'll see a YouTube logo. If you click on it, you'll be able to launch your video into YouTube's native app. What that'll allow you to do is interact in the comments. See the comments that I'm including there, but also interact with other people who are attending. For the most interactive user today, the most interactive viewer, I'm going to be giving a special one-on-one session to make sure that you are fully catered for your specific use case. We've got some great comments already from Helga Walker and Kylie Doll. Helga says, "Hey Jeff, looking forward to learning something new today." Awesome, Helga. Great to have you here. Always good to see your name in the comments. And Kylie Dole says, "I'm on YouTube waiting to learn some cool shit." Nice, Kylie. Very nice to have you here. We're going to begin in just a moment. While we wait for other people to join us, go ahead and click out of GoPinLeads website. So far, what you need to do is click on the YouTube logo within the little window you're viewing me in. And what you do then is launch it through into YouTube's website itself to interact in the comments and put yourself in the running for that free one-on-one consultation to make sure that your use case is fully catered for. We're going to begin in exactly 1 minute. Okay. Our topic today is how to email better. Greater campaign success. Now, that sounds very vague. And basically, what I'm going to be talking to you about today is email growth marketing. It's a very exciting avenue to explore. It may have been something you used to do. It may be something you're still doing. You're just looking for a better way to do it. Regardless, this is an amazing source of revenue. So, email is almost 40 times more effective than Facebook and Twitter combined in helping a business acquire new customers. So the successes that you can get from Facebook plus the successes you can get from Twitter, you can multiply them combined by 40. That's the level of success you can get from email growth marketing. So really, this is where you need to be. Email marketing boasts a median ROI of 122%. So what this means is your return on investment is way higher than almost any other channel. So let's have a look at how we can actually go ahead and implement this and make it happen on a real case. Email prospecting, as I've said, has probably the highest ROI for any marketing channel. It'll cost you no more than a few dollars a month, and it has one of the fastest results. You can gain access to this just by using these tips. So I'm talking about all of the methods, all of the tools that you need to use to make this work for you. That's what I'm talking about in the webinar today. Not leaving any stone unturned. If you have specific questions, please, I absolutely adore questions. Pop them into the comments section and we'll go. We'll go hard and we'll get it done. So not everyone knows how to use emails effectively. This is a problem because if you're sending out ineffective emails, you're not going to get that ROI. There's a caveat to absolutely everything. This is going to be a huge place of success for you. Absolutely critical, because this ROI is going to put you in the standing to really boost your successes. So here we have the growth marketing process. First of all, start small. Start in your local area. You may have heard that old adage of encouraging writers to write what they know. The reason why that's such good advice is that simply it works. If you start and focus in your local area, it allows you to build on the people and the experiences that you're familiar with. Once you're comfortable with that and you've built some confidence with this process, then go ahead and look at other areas of opportunity. Starting small is comforting. It's safer, but also you can see more successes there because the people who already know you, who already are familiar with you, who may already love you, for example, can go ahead and get your name out there to their network. Remember, word of mouth is very powerful as well. Okay, so you want to test absolutely everything. And I'm going to make that easy for you today. Well, I'm just going to show you a tool that's made it very easy for you. I can't take credit for Jan. So measure your successes as well. The same tool is going to do this for you. It's going to help you learn from your mistakes, replicate your successes so that when you start over again, you're going to be a real potent warhorse of a salesperson. So here we are, looking at what you need to do before you even start typing your email. You want to set yourself up for success. Do you remember in school when you potentially used to roll your eyes whenever your teacher, usually an English teacher or some language teacher, would tell you that you need to write an essay, but they want to see your planning documents first? I know that that was personally my least favorite part of the essay writing process in school, but here we are. We need to do it again. So if you practiced it then, you're going to be really good at it now. You need to plan your offer. All right. So this is very basic sounding, I know, but it goes a lot deeper than a lot of people think, and that's why I'm mentioning it. So planning your offer is a very specific process. You need to know where your offer begins, where your offer ends, how far you're willing to go, and what gray areas are involved. You need to know what your potential losses are, what your potential gains are. Additionally, point number 2, will it interest them? It's pointless sending an email that no one's interested in. I'm sure we can all agree on that. We've all received them. We've all rolled our eyes and deleted them, sent them to spam. So, will it interest them? Figure that out based on who you're emailing, and look at what's trending in their industry, in their circles, or in their particular company at the time. Relevance builds interest. Work with relevance. Make it relevant to them. If it's relevant, it'll be more interesting, obviously. But put in terms like that, it really brings you to a place of honesty and sincerity with your own message, failing which you will literally not get any interaction from your sales. You really are going to be put in a position where you need to be honest with people, but also you are going to be giving them the opportunity to get something so much better than their current situation. That's why you're contacting them, because you are revolutionary to them. So that is the basis of interest. Will it interest them? Think along those lines, and you'll get a much stronger foothold as you go. Also figure out, what is it worth to them? Before I get into that, I want to apologize if you can hear a sort of ghostly moaning type noise in the background. It's the very heavy wind at the moment blowing through the trees that surround my location. So, what is it worth to them? You need to decide what they are going to get from your offer. What that means is, quite simply, what is going to become easier, better, faster, or more reliable? What quality will increase because of your offer? Worth is measurable stuff, money, time. Save either of those and you're miles ahead already. If you can do that for free, as a teaser, as a taster, as a trial, that's amazing. Because then you can show people that you're confident with the value that you're representing. But at the same time, you really do get your foot in the door, and they've then got something they can send on to people, a tangible example of your proof, and that makes the word of mouth even stronger. So remembering worth is going to add potency. What is it worth to them? Think about it long, hard, and think about it honestly. There is a great writer called William Nicholson who wrote a book called The Society of Others way back in the day that is all based on the assumption that you make one statement, you make the opposite, and then you open your mind to the possibility that the second one is true. That way of thinking is going to be so golden to you in your emailing process, because you are going to be able to judge yourself on reality, not based on your opinion, your feelings, or your emotions. You're going to be able to say, this is the truth. This is the opposite of that statement. And you'll be able to find your relevance and your worth in that statement. Think about it in terms of polarizing one extreme to the other, and then find the middle ground, find your balance. And that is where you are going to be the most stable and the most reliable for your clients. Also, why is it valuable? This is, believe me, different to worth. Value is more abstract. Worth is finite. It's money, it's time, it's very useful bits of stuff that you could lose if this goes wrong. But if it goes right, you could gain a lot of time, you could gain a lot of money, or at least save a lot of money. Value is different. It's more abstract, and it's an emotional feeling. And this is all based on my interpretations. If yours is different, that is absolutely fine. As long as you are communicating to people on these different levels, you need to know what value means to the person you're emailing. So, fine, let's think of an example. If you're going to be sending a database over to somebody, that database, if it's going to be valuable to them, is not only going to be ticking the worth boxes of time and money saved, but it's also going to be speaking to quality of life, how their mood is, their morale throughout the day. If you can give them a solution that has value in that it's going to make them less stressed, if you have a solution that'll give them value in that they will feel more adept at their own position, you're winning. So remember that value is more targeted on emotion. It's more abstract, but it is really worth hitting both of those. Interest will get you in the door, and the other two will get you the sale or the answer or the conversation started. These are people you're dealing with. Remember that. And remember as well, none of this should cost you very much, if anything at all. And to help you along the way, I've got some ideas here that we need to go over to make sure that we are on the same page. So these ideas are very generic, sort of random-ish ideas, but what they're going to allow you to do is to get a better foothold on how to write these emails, how to approach people, how to break down that fourth wall, that technological fourth wall, and how you can basically break the ice. So the first one is content. Hot burning topics are very important because basically if you're going to be writing to someone you don't know, you've got to grab their interest. So in marketing, let's think of what a big hot burning topic in marketing recently was. Big one, first one comes to mind, GDPR. Everyone's panicking about GDPR. I'm going to give you a tip about how to handle it in a calm and rational way later. Don't you worry about that. But that is a good example of a hot burning topic. GDPR is something that everyone's talking about, everyone's stressing about, everybody needs to get a better handle on. And generally, if you can help to demystify and simplify things, or if you can just offer a comforting shoulder, you're ahead. That is where you want to be. Hot burning topics are real relevant issues that businesses, individuals are dealing with right now. Okay, so joining a community. At Goodman Lantern, GoPinLeads, we have really fantastic communities. We have two of them on Facebook. We have our sales, leads, and pro content Facebook group. That's a great place for you to really dial in your email skills, really dial in the way that you communicate with people. It's a good thing. I'll send you the link at the end of the webinar. Do stick about for that. Also, remember, interact in the comments. So far, Helga Walker and Kylie Doll are ahead. If you want to interact in the comments and you're still watching on the GoPinLeads website, you're watching in a YouTube window. If you mouse over the window, you'll see a YouTube logo in the bottom bar. Click on that logo, you'll launch through to YouTube's site itself. You'll be able to see the comments on the right-hand side. You'll be able to interact, talk to me, and I will be answering questions as we go. And just to remind you, the most interaction that I get will be getting a free one-on-one call that is going to give you a real helpful kickstart for your specific use case with GoPinLeads. The other community that we have on that topic is the GoPinLeads community. The GoPinLeads community is what it says on the tin. It's a group of people who use the tool, a group of people who are using it every day. We have a very honest, very open, very interactive community there. People tell us when things go right. People tell us about their wins. People tell us about glitches, bugs. People tell us about absolutely everything. We are totally transparent with everyone that uses our tool through the Facebook community. And yeah, it's a really supportive, really good place to be. The community helps you, the team helps you. And I also jump on there and give you free video explainers when you ask for them. And yeah, it's a really great place to go. So if you need your questions answered, if you need some interaction, if you just need some inspiration, Facebook communities are golden. You can start one too. Start by joining another one and get your contacts going through that. Get your community and your network building up. Add people that you can connect with through that group. And that's going to give you more people who are going to join your group as well down the line. Also, joining a successful group will give you an idea of how it's run, how it's managed, and how you can do the same. Number 3, free trial. This is something I touched on already, and it's amazing, amazing to do. If you're not doing free trials, there's something wrong with you, because free trials, or alternatively, it's your business might prohibit the use of free trials. But if you can swing it, you really should, because free trials give you a hell of a lot more interaction, a hell of a lot more control. I'll explain. If you're the type of business who's giving away, let's use databases as an example, then you can give away a database, free trial example. If you're a content company, you can give away 2 hours of free content writing, and that'll give the person the opportunity to submit their topic and let you write about it, and they'll know exactly where you are, exactly what your quality of work is like, exactly what your turnaround time is like, what your team's like to deal with. All of their answers and a hell of a lot of their barriers to purchase are going to be overcome by a free trial because they experience you on a real first-person basis. Free trials are a winning thing to do. Number 4, join webinar. That's what you're doing now. That's what we have organized today. Webinars, I'm going to touch on very briefly here. I'm going to touch on the first type of webinar very briefly because it's a type of webinar I don't like and I don't do. The first type of webinar is the type that ends or contains a very hard sell component. I don't like it. I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is, in my opinion, hard selling died a long time ago, and you really need to be open and check with people where they are right now. Selling is a lot more organic. Selling is a lot more about trust and getting a real relationship than it ever was. So we don't do hard sell in our webinars. When I say hang around to the end, it's to give you free stuff. It's not to sell to you. We do mention the tool that we have created in this webinar, but there's a free level as well that you can use. 50 leads a month. You're not going to get a lot of business with 50 leads a month, but it's going to give you a real useful insight into how the tool works and how easy it is to go ahead and operate. So webinars of the second type are what we like to do. Webinars of the second type are simply explaining, reaching out, chatting, and getting people to understand what the tool is, what it does, and how it can help them. So, moving on. Event invitations. Sure, webinars are an example of an event type, but this is not the whole story. You can do a lot more with the category of events than simply a webinar. These can be live events. These can be face-to-face one-on-ones. These can be Skype events. These can be lives on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Events are totally up to your interpretation. Regarding your market, remember, you need to make sure that they're interested. So if you're doing an event, it needs to be attendable. Needs to be interesting. Don't be a boring event host. Andrew Randall has popped some comments into this YouTube app here. So, which list management solution do you use or recommend? I operate in a few different niches and I'm struggling to keep my lists updated and clean. Andrew, that's a fantastic question. So what I'm going to show you in this webinar is two tools that are going to help you to make sure that your lists are decent. I'm also going to show you how to use them together to make sure that you can be running clean, successful campaigns. So Andrew, I'm going to answer that question. It is part of the webinar content. Please do stick about for that, and it's going to be coming very shortly. Second comment from Andrew. Keen not to generate duplicates or otherwise squander my monthly credits. Absolutely understood, Andrew, and I will show you how to do that. Just a note on the squandering of credits. That's something that we stand very much against, Andrew, and everyone else. So if you are receiving, if you, for example, receive a database, any line that doesn't contain useful information like emails, for example, if it doesn't contain an email, you're not charged for that line. Additionally, the third tab, the tab with no names, the leads with no names, you're not charged for that either. Then it's basically because we want to give you the most number of emails, that third tab, but we don't want to give you anything that's not fully usable. So also, if you do find any discrepancy with credits that may have been falsely credited or something like that, we have an amazing support staff who will immediately help you, and that will not be a problem. We're not in the business of making things overly complex. You just simply tell us what happened and we'll fix it. I hope that answers your second question there, Andrew, or your second point there, Andrew. But your first one will be answered as we go on. So digital gifts. I mentioned databases a few times because that is a very good way to start if that is a useful example of your business case. So digital gifts can also be voucher codes. They can be discount codes. There are lots of different examples of digital gifts. Anything that's going to save people money is considered as a gift. Anything that is going to make their life a bit better, going to bring them joy, anything that is going to be for free for them is going to be a good example of a digital gift. And if you make sure that it is of the most optimal quality, then you are going to be able to make sure that you get their business. Here's a comment again from Andrew Randall. It's user error at this end, no fault at yours. Understood, Andrew. But that's the whole reason why we do these webinars, and why I also do give you at the end of this webinar my email address so that you can communicate with me personally. And also, you're leading in the comments race at the moment. So you are the one who is, as it stands now, going to be getting that free one-on-one with me. And basically, our aim is always to make sure that you are fully taken care of, and that, you know, any fault, whether it's at our end or your end, is always mitigated, and your use case is promoted. And, you know, we want to make sure that you're as successful as humanly possible. So yeah, great to have you here today, Andrew, and awesome interaction. I'm absolutely loving it. Top 100 list. This is point number 7. A top 100 list is a very, very common thing in the world. So if you think about like Heat magazine, they have the top 100 best looking people in the world, all that sort of strangeness. But in business, we also need these. You can have Forbes lists, top 20s, top 50s, top 100 businesses in certain categories, top earners. You can have all sorts of top 100 lists. The thing is, though, remember we talked about relevance? Well, relevance is always going to be the pinnacle of what your success will be based on. If you send your top 100 list of businesses in the USA who are in the publishing industry, and you send that off to bicycle shops in the UK, that's not hugely relevant, I'm sure you can agree. That's going to confuse them and alienate them, because they're going to know you didn't do your homework. So you need to be relevant. You need to be very relevant. Get highly targeted, because the more you hit the nail on the head, the more you're going to get results. Okay, so number 8 is a 30-minute free consultation. So 30-minute free consultations are something that are worth their weight in gold, because you can get full understanding of where the client is. They can get full understanding of where you are in the process, in your relationship, and how your service or product works in a real environment. And they can ask questions, they can interact, and they can realize that you're not so scary. You're a person like them, and that your heart is in the right place. Remember, though, if it's not, they will notice. So make sure your attitude is right before you jump on a call with anyone. Be the best rep you can for your own company. Okay, moving on to the process. So this is the process you're going to follow to make your campaign a success. Before I dive into this process, I just want to remind anyone watching on the GoPinLeads webinars webpage to click on the YouTube logo in the window you're watching me in, launch into YouTube's website itself. You'll be able to watch and comment, just like Helga, Kylie, and Andrew have been doing. And if you comment more than Andrew, you can try and beat him out for that free one-on-one consultation. All right, so the process. I'm going to let you just have a cheeky look at that for a moment. I'm going to have a drink of water. So, the process. Find email addresses is number one. You need to have people to email. Without people to email, who are you going to email? Number two, draft your email. So drafting the email is going to be a product of that planning process we talked about, where you really figured out what you're on about and why they should care. Step number three, create email templates. Creating email templates is super easy. That sounds scary. It's not. You'll be fine. I'll show you how. Develop landing page. That sounds even scarier, but there's tools for that. You know the old saying, there's an app for that? There is, and you'll be fine. I'll show you how to use that and what to do. Also, number five, analyze data. Analyzing the data is also one of those things that people hear and they think, oh no, I'm going to have to do a lot of filtering, sorting, and looking at codes. Not the case at all. All you need to do is look at the screen outread that the tool gives you. Using these data points, you're going to rinse and repeat. That means do it again. Everything that you're doing, you're going to do again, over and over again. The things that worked, you'll do it. You'll repeat. The things that didn't work, you'll stop doing, because that's how sane people operate. So what we're going to be doing is looking a bit closer into this in a bit of a theoretical sense, and then we're going to dive into a practical where I'm going to show you how to really jump in and become a power user overnight. Step one is finding email addresses. This is the part where I talk about GoPinLeads, the tool that we made. Don't worry, zero hard sell. This is an FYI. This is a tool that we made because we needed it and we still use it every single day of our lives. It makes everything a lot quicker. You won't have to sit about making databases. Let me explain why we made it, and then you'll understand what it does a bit better. So, our tool is born out of a real, honest need. We had a client who needed to find a huge number of leads across the entire scope of the USA quickly. They needed to be accurate. They needed to work the first time. All right. So what we did is we realized that this would take forever. Anyone who's manually built a database knows that this would have taken forever to do, and it would have been super expensive, and we would have had a delayed and unhappy client. So what we did is we decided to make a tool to make the process a lot quicker. That's when we made GoPinLeads. And GoPinLeads has given us the opportunity to allow the generation of leads in a real rapid sense and also in a real usable format. And I'll show you what that format is and how everything is just so seamless and flows together. So what the leads look like when you get them, you'll have company and individual emails, phone numbers, employee job titles, social media accounts, company, physical brick and mortar addresses. It's really, really involved. You'll have all the details that you need. Setup email is step number two. So you have your list of people now that you're going to send an email to. So setting up your email is going to be super easy. You're going to be using a tool called Yam. We have not made Yam. Yam is simply an awesome tool that we use every day of our lives. So Yam stands for Yet Another Mail Merge. And it is very cool, very easy, very intuitive. So you need a domain. You can use yours or create a new one. You can sign up to Yam, and once you do that, it links your Google Sheets with your Gmail drafts, and it makes a personalized mail merge happen, and it makes your life a lot easier. Also, with Yam, it allows you to add an extra layer of testing and an extra layer of security to your sales process. I'll explain a bit more on that as we go along. Yam is fantastic because it allows you to measure your campaign as well. All right. So without measuring things, you're going to be completely lost. You need to know what your numbers are. Step number 3 is to create an email template. So have a look at the email on the right-hand side of your screen. This email has a brief, vague subject line. So that's going to be your teaser. Think about it as clickbait, but do not be clickbaity. If you watch YouTube videos, you'll know what I mean by that. But for the rest of you, first of all, start watching YouTube because there are a ton of useful webinars, talks, and resources on here. But also, you need to make sure that people open your email. So you need to be alluring, intriguing, interesting, but at the same time, you don't want to give the whole game away. Don't let the cat out of the bag right away. They need to open that email and find out what this whole big interesting revelation you have ready for them actually is. So that's what you need to do. What is the message? This is something that you will have come to terms with in your planning process. This is something that you need to understand because if you don't, how are they going to know what you want? If you understand my meaning, without trying to be clever or sound funny or anything, you need to make sure that you are very clear. So, what is the message you want them to get? Okay, and test this, get other eyes on it. If you're in a workspace, get the workspaces on there and get them to look at what you're emailing. Get their feedback. If somebody says they hate it, ask them why. If somebody says they would click on the link, ask them why would they click on the link. Get real feedback. It's going to help you grow. Also, you need to get some what's the word? Perspective on the tone that you're supposed to be using, because stuffy, salesy, impersonal emails are horrible. No one likes them. No one likes to be spoken to in that way. Don't do it to people. It's not pleasant. So what I would recommend instead, okay, is word the email as if it's from a friend, not like cloying and overly familiar for sure, just friendly, easy, relatively informal. Make it a simple process, a relatable process. It's for your own good, trust me. It's going to break down that barrier and it's going to make people feel like they can trust you a bit more. But at the same time as well, we were talking about extremes earlier. If you are overly familiar and too, as they say, buddy with people, they're going to start feeling uneasy. You know that feeling when somebody's overly familiar off the gate. It's not a nice feeling. So don't do that to people, but do make sure that you are being as friendly and as easy to talk to as possible. Keep your email short as well. You're going to have the opportunity later to be more explicit, but for now, keep it short. Include a link as well. Without a link, how are they going to work or act on what you've told them to do? Yeah, the blue link on your screen now says sign up for free. When they click that, they go to the landing page that we've set up. Let's go a bit deeper into the way that your emails should look. Okay, so your emails have a banner. Banners allow you to give your corporate style a visual dynamic and allows you to communicate a bit of your vibe in a visual way. It should be true to you. It should also be clickable. When they click on it, it should go to a relevant page on your website. Localize your email as well. Include addresses, contact details. Make it as localized as possible. If you are a multinational, make that clear. If you are a smaller company, give them all the details they can. Make it easy for people to contact you because then they feel more trusting. I keep telling people, think about your own experiences. Think about how you feel when you struggle to reach a company that you have paid or that you want to buy something from. It freaks you out. So don't do that to people. Okay. Develop variations of this and see what works. If something just doesn't work for people, Get rid of it. Again, use the people around you, workspaces, colleagues, family, partners, literally anyone you have. Get their opinion. These are people that you're emailing, so ask people for their opinion. That's going to help you a lot. Really get as many eyes on it as possible. Remember that when you get blinkered and you get stuck in your little zone, you can start to fail in a cycle. And what you're going to do then is learn bad habits and convince yourself that you're not the problem. So, yeah, be honest, keep yourself honest, and keep people giving you feedback. Don't surround yourself with sycophants. Surround yourself with people who are going to give you the truth and the honest opinion. So give them an unsubscribe option while we're talking about being trustworthy and making people not feel like you're a internet scammer. You want to give them an unsubscribe option. People are less likely to unsubscribe if there's an unsubscribe option. Imagine that. It builds trust. It's a good thing. Give them that option. Include links. I've mentioned using a banner as an example of a graphic link. The telephone numbers and the unsubscribe, and on the previous page where it says sign up for a free trial, those are examples of graphic links. All right. So those are two different styles of link that you can use and should be using. But don't use too many graphic links. It makes your emails big in size, makes them long to load, and sometimes graphics don't load properly. So you could be losing eyeballs there. Dimension is important. It needs to be cohesive. It needs to all look like it's edited in a similar fashion. You want to make yourself look good. You're a professional, you know? Okay, so also you need to follow up with your emails. You'll do one follow-up email per campaign. Just the one. You don't want to badger people, but you do want to make them aware of what's happening. Remind them about the deadline. Deadlines are super critical. I'll explain why when I'm talking about the landing pages in a moment. Provide them with the sign-up link. So a sign-up link is going to be really totally critical. Your sign-up link is the whole reason you're emailing them. It doesn't have to be a sign-up link. It can be a link to your landing page. It can be a link to whatever your email is talking about. But you have to have it because it allows you an extra level of measuring, but it also allows you to take things to the next level with your contact list. Step number 4 is to develop a landing page, and there are tools for that. So you can make your own HTML landing page, but I wouldn't recommend that. You're going to be doing different landing pages for every different campaign you do. You're going to be doing different landing pages potentially every 2 weeks. So it makes sense to use a tool that's templated and that you can change really quite quickly. Make your life easier, not harder. Work smart, as the old saying goes. All right, so tools that you are potentially going to be using: LaunchRock and Instapage. These are both templated, easy to use, very simple ways of getting your landing page built in a good looking way. Include an introduction. Tell people who you are, what you're doing, and what you want from them, but keep it short. Additionally, have a testimonial, pictures, titles, job companies, all of that sort of thing you want to have in your testimonial to make it as specific and believable as possible. Your landing page as well is going to be the primary tool for you to create the fear of missing out in people, to make them desperate to click, to sign up, to accept your offer, whatever the case may be. You want to create FOMO. Countdowns are going to do that for you, and your wording is going to do that for you. Your attack is always twofold, and it's going to make sure that it comes together to make it happen for you. Include a form under your countdown to enter their name, email, phone number. This is so that you can contact these people in the future. This is also so that you can gauge who's interested. Step 5 is data analysis, and this is something that YAM is going to help you with really beautifully. So YAM is going to, and this comes back to Andrew Randall, your question from earlier. Andrew asked earlier, which list management solution do you use or recommend? It's because Andrew operates in a few different niches and he's struggling to keep his lists updated and clean. So this is ground zero, first point contact, absolute first step you're going to take in making sure that you clean up your lists. Okay, and Yam's going to do it for you. I'll show you practically in a moment how that works, but theoretically, here we go, Andrew. Yam is going to give you data on these emails that you've sent. Remember that Yam links your Google Sheets with your Gmail drafts, and it creates a mail merge, which basically allows you to send out personalized emails. But Yam also has reporting and analysis functions. So it'll show you in the tracking report the sent, opened, and clicked rates of these emails. In the Google Sheet as well, it's going to show you even more information there, Andrew. It's going to show you cool stuff like who typed a response out to you and hit send, which emails bounced, which people unsubscribed. That's going to give you everything that you need for your first line of defense with your lists. So you'll understand more in the practical section, but for this explanation here, you're going to be sending out with Yam a list to a list of contacts. Yam's going to remove anyone whose email has bounced. Okay, that's going to be your first line of defense. So in the sheet that Yam's going to create for your follow-up campaign, it's going to have removed all the bounced people. Okay, you're also going to be able to see of the people who did not bounce, what level of interest they displayed in your message. That's going to inform how you communicate with them going forward. Now, why this relates to your question, Andrew, is when you're using an additional tool like a landing page, like, for example, Email Octopus, for example, any mass emailing software like those, they will notice if you have high bounce rates. A lot of them will block you if you have high bounce rates for spam-like behavior. So if you are using Yam first line of defense, you can remove the people who bounce, and that's going to protect your integrity on the other platform. So that is going to be one way, Andrew, that you're going to be able to keep your lists cleaner. And then as far as updating them, that's something that we'll have to talk about privately to answer part 2 of your first question there. So, Andrew, I hope that gives you a little bit of an insight just for now, and I'm going to go in deeper in the practical section. But for now, I want to say that step number 6 is to repeat, repeat, repeat. All right? Repeating is where you're going to get your successes. Iteration breeds success. You'll become a professional because you will have done it 100 times. Okay, you're going to adjust your approach. You're going to refine your email targets, okay? Try different things. Try different sectors. Try different geographies. Try different job titles. Okay, remember, step number 1 is you are going to start local. Start with what you know. Start local, start small. So you may be emailing your local branch or the local head office area of a certain company, and they might not be responding. So you can try different things to figure out if you're the problem or if you're just emailing the wrong people. Try different sectors, as in try to email people from different industries. Try different geographies. Try outside of your local area. We all know how in our own companies as well, there are certain people who are more likely to interact, more likely to go ahead and respond to an email or start a conversation than others. And so you want to find those people. So yeah, try different job titles as well. Offer new incentives within the emails and landing pages. This is why I was saying earlier that you should be using a tool for your landing page, in my opinion, because you're going to be changing it a lot, as much as you change your banner realistically, because you're going to have different campaigns and different things that you want to achieve. If you stay the same, if you bore people, they're not going to work with you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you some really good ways that you can start making this work for you. Starting, of course, with your emails. I'm going to show you the lead generation section as well, but first of all, I need to show you how your emails are going to be built. Your emails are going to be using, remember we said templates? There it is. That's your template. Literally, that's all it is. Here's another example. Super easy, right? It's not a difficult code to type in. So it's the curved brackets, the doubling of those, and then first name and the closing of both of those curved brackets. The content I've used here is simply functional for today. It's to allow my colleagues who I'm going to be sending this email to today realize that it's not an important email. It's just to show you the functionality of YAM and how the tools work together. So this is really to encourage you how easy it is to create an email template. Okay, so easy. And to connect this with YAM, even easier. Total doddle, I'll show you how to do it. But first, let's jump into GoPinLeads. So we've got two apps with GoPinLeads. We've got the Chrome extension and we've got the web app. This is GoPinLeads.com. GoPinLeads.com is going to give you a link to each of them. So check it out. It'll also give you tips, tricks, all sorts of good stuff, blogs for use cases, support, success stories, inspiration, good stuff. But the interesting bit for this webinar is the Chrome extension and the web app. Okay, so the Chrome extension opens up through to the Chrome Web Store. You can see that I've already added mine to Chrome. I'm not going to remove it, but it is very easy to add. One click, bang, and it arrives in your bar. Very quick, very easy. Okay, so you need to also check out our web app, GoPinLeads Amphi. That is going to be our non-Chrome based version. You can use this across all different browsers. Really good little alternative to using the Chrome extension. So first of all, let's look at the Chrome extension. It works with, once you've added it to your Google Chrome, you'll go ahead and go to Google Maps. Searches in Google Maps is going to give you the results that you're looking for, and that's going to make you able to do searches in a really easy way, in a way that you're familiar with as well. So I'm looking for gyms, and I'm going to go ahead and look for gyms in Bristol, in the UK. Google Maps at this stage is still what I'm using to go ahead and find these businesses. And now this is where the magic begins. You open up GoPinLeads and you will have signed in already using your login details that you created. And what happens then is it opens up the businesses tab. Pay very close attention to this next section, because this is very critical to make sure that you're getting the most out of the tool using the Chrome extension. So, like I said, you open it using the shortcut in your Google Chrome. It takes you to the Businesses tab. I'm going to go ahead and press Select All. Then I'm going to move away from the GoPinLeads connection, Chrome extension, down to the Showing Results 1 to 20 section on the Google Maps app. So the Google Maps app website, I'm going to click on the next arrow, and that's going to load the next set of 20 results. You'll see that the map has changed. It's still in the Bristol area. It's just shifted focus to a different area of Bristol. And I'm going to go ahead and reopen the Chrome extension. And once again, press select all. Before I do though, notice that right now we have 20 results selected from the previous page. When I press select all here, that changes to 40 results selected. I want to get all the results I can. So I'm going to keep doing this process over and over again until Google Maps runs out of results. So once again, I'm going to move out of here down to the showing next results. Click on the arrow to load the next 20 results. Go back to the Chrome extension. Press select all again. Now we're up to 60 results selected. I'm going to go back to Google Maps and press the arrow again. And I'm going to keep doing this so that I can get all of the leads that are available on Google Maps. You'll know when you've run out because the arrow will no longer be clickable on the Google Maps side. You keep going through it repetitively like this to make sure that you get all of the leads in the area. Doing it again and again and again is going to make sure that you keep going deeper and deeper into all of the results. Think about this really as how Google itself on the regular search engine side displays results. They always do it in a ranked manner. There's an algorithm that shows things first over others, and you want to make sure you get all the results that are available. So consistently going ahead and doing this is going to make sure that you go into the subsequent pages as well and pull in people that you want to include. Be wary that when you select all, you can also deselect others. For example, I'm going to take this opportunity to remove Holiday Inn. This has probably been included because they have a gym in their Holiday Inn. That means that the keyword has been picked up and they've been included as a result. By pressing unselect, I can remove them and I will no longer have that as an option in my list. That makes you really sure that you're not burning credits. This also goes back to Andrew Randall's second point. If you don't want to burn credits, if you don't want something like, for example, yoga, you can also deselect that. Okay, so this is going to give you everything that you need to find all the leads on Google Maps. It's really easy. You're seeing that I'm talking to you fluently while I'm doing this, and very beautiful. That's what I was waiting for. You'll see that I've run out of arrows and can no longer click further. When that happens to you, that means you've exhausted the leads in that area that you were looking for. And you can see I've got 197 results very quickly and very easily. How long would that have taken you to generate manually? So then I'm going to press Add Businesses. This is going to add the businesses, all 197 of those gyms I found. It's going to add them through to the next tab, which is the Leads tab. And the Leads tab is going to give me contact people within those businesses. I'm going to go ahead and press Select All. That gives me 214 contact people. Can you cope? So quick, so easy. I like to scroll down just to make sure that nothing else is loaded after I pressed Select All. And we are absolutely A for away. Okay, this is exciting stuff. And also, I'm going to press Add Leads to go through to the next page, and I can then export the businesses and leads that I need from there. Very cool. 411 results will be emailed through to me. When I press Export, it'll be sent to the email address that I signed up with. Success. List can take up to 10 minutes to reach your inbox, and I can press Start Another Search if I wanted to do such a thing. Okay, so that's how you use the Google Chrome extension, Google Maps combination. And now I'm going to show you the web app. We call our web app GoPinLeads Amphi, and it's really cool, very easy to use, as easy to use as the Chrome extension Google Maps combination, and this is what it looks like. You can click to it from the GoPinLeads website or go to app.gopinleads.com. So very similarly, we can do searches in GoPinLeads Amphi in any browser without having to use a Chrome extension. So here we go. We're going to do a very quick search for bookstores in London. Let's actually get away from the UK. We're going to do bookstores in San Francisco, California, one of my bucket list destinations. And here we have the next page. As before, it's the businesses tab that you come to first. I'm going to have the opportunity to press select all once again. And also, when I scroll down, I will be able to either, depending on the search that I'm doing, go to the Chrome extension for more results. Or if I'm doing a different type of search, for example, social media agencies in the UK, let's keep that to London for this example, because that place is on my mind right now. You'll be able to see a different side of things where you'll have a different button. And this load more. And this is similar to going to the different pages on Google Maps. You'll see that the map on the right-hand side changes. And as I press load more, more and more results are loaded through. This is going to make sure that you get all of the details that you require. You'll see that the load more button becomes inactive once you have exhausted its resources. And at that stage, you have pressed select all, and you can press add businesses. Going ahead and pressing add businesses will take you through to the leads page. The leads tab over here allows you to see, once again, as before, all of the leads within those businesses. You can go ahead and press add leads as we did before, and it'll say 474 results emailed through to you. Remembers the email address you signed up with, and you just press export businesses and leads. That is how easy it is. So let's see if our database has come through yet. It was a really big one. It's going to need a couple of extra moments. Won't be very long though. Remember, we give those up to 10 minutes to generate. And when they are up to 200 long and bigger, they can take up to 10 minutes to generate, which is still much faster than any database you could generate on your own. Okay, so here we have an example of the database that I use to send my YAM emails with to my team internally so that they know that I'm not emailing random people out in the business world for the sake of a webinar. So I've used this one previously. I'm going to go ahead and just dump it into another for you so you can see how it works. So you will get a database from us. You won't need to create a database because GoPinLeads does it for you. In this iteration, however, this is going to be my webinar example database. And in here, I've got my colleagues, myself. I've got my own email address in there as well. And what this allows me to do is show you how YAM works in a real-time example. Okay, so you will remember that I have two draft examples for you to look over. Okay, so the first one is the first name style. And this is amazing timing. Andrew Randall has just asked a question here. So I'm going to put the brakes on. He's asked, which of the variants of GoPinLeads do you use and why? I'm going to get to that after the practical section, Andrew. It's in the hacks portion, and you will get all the answers to that. Andrew is absolutely crushing the interaction today. Andrew's in the lead for that free one-on-one session. Awesome to have you, Andrew. Anyone else who wants a free one-on-one session and wants to compete for interaction with Andrew, you can drop comments as you go. as we go along. So let's have a look at these drafts. So the first one says, hi, curled brackets, open and closed, and inside of them, first name. That's going to let me email people by their first name. Here I have the first name of the people I'm emailing, and this is going to get dropped into my draft where this code has been put in. Code's a very strong word. It's basically just a little indication to Yam. Then there's also a business name draft. I'll show you when and how you'd use each of these drafts in a moment, so you can tell what you're going to be using them for. But first of all, let's show you how Yam operates while we're waiting for our database to populate through. So here we have our database, and remember, I want to send an email by first name. So I look at the subject line of my draft that I've created with this little indicator in it for first name. Then you go back to the database and you go add-ons, yet another mail merge, and start mail merge. Yam is then going to kick in and start working on your merge. It's going to merge your Google Sheets through to your Gmail drafts, and that's what it's working on right now. So this is telling me that I have used this sheet before, and it's picked up problems and asking me if I want to skip people who have bounced. I've included an incorrect email address in here on purpose to show you what a bounce looks like, but I don't want them to skip for now, so I'm going to say no thanks. This is a great example of how simple to use Yam is and how deeply it does take care of you. So remember, my draft's name was webinar first name draft. I'm going to go ahead to my email template section, and I'm going to click on the title or the subject of the correct draft. I'm going to make sure that track emails opened, clicked, or bounced is selected. And then I'm going to press receive a test email. You have to do this because it gives you the opportunity to see that your code has worked. Remember, we included a code to include the personalization of the first name. Well, that is what we want to do. We want to make sure that we have that squared away. So if we go ahead and look at our draft, you'll see that in this case, it has not worked. So that is precisely why we do the test, because you want that personalization and you want to make sure that it comes through. So what you do is I like to copy paste the title of the column that I need to include, and I put that into my draft. When we do this again, we will check that it works. And how we know it works is it'll put the first entry as the personalization field for your test email. So we'll go add-ons, yet another mail merge, start mail merge. Wait for Yam to connect your drafts and your sheets. Select the correct draft name. You can also use the refresh function on the side here. Webinar first name draft. Send a test email to yourself, and that'll allow you to make sure that it has worked. And then you can press send the 5 emails to make sure that you're getting the message across to your list of recipients. Yam is working, and it tells you in green all emails have been sent. Immediately, you can see the tracking report has opened on the side, and it's getting ready to analyze what has happened. Already, it's picked up on that fake email address that I put in there, and it has told me quite rightly that there's been a bounce. This is also why we got that message saying that there was an email that bounced, and would we like to remove it from future endeavors, future campaigns. So that is really going to help you, Andrew, and it's really going to make sure that you get your message across. All right. So also, I'm going to go ahead and click on the link within the emails so that you can go ahead and look at what happens in real time with Yam. When you do that, you can see that the link has been clicked within the email, which is really good, really helps you to gauge the sort of interest that you're getting back from people. Additionally, you may find occasionally that people are going to want to send you a direct reply. And to do that, you are going to be able to receive that response straight into your Gmail box. And when they do respond, you'll see that it changes to green and says responded. Tracking report on the right-hand side changes to show you the ratios of who has opened, clicked, responded, what has bounced, who has pressed the unsubscribe link. It's very inclusive. It's very cool. And it shows you everything you need to know in real time. So this is how you're going to know what worked and what didn't. Okay. If people have not opened your email, and this is a trend across your campaign, then you know your subject line wasn't very interesting, it wasn't very appealing, and nobody clicked on it as a result. If people have opened it but not clicked, that could possibly mean that your content within the email did nothing for them. Work on your content. If they clicked, that means it worked on both levels, and then you go ahead and work on the next stage when they go to your landing page. So that's really how you will use these metrics to get around what you need when you need them in a real, simple, real dynamic way. All right. And it's going to make sure that you get all of the details that you require really quickly and really easily. I also want to show you how a quick answer to how many different types of niches that you can find using the either the web app or the Chrome extension. You can do searches for almost any niche that there is. They can be businesses, online businesses, they can be brick and mortar businesses. They are amazingly easy to find. If I'm looking for bicycle shops within New York, USA, and I want to find all the results quickly, this is a really good way to go as well. You can just go ahead and select all, load more until you have everyone that you need. Press add businesses to load through to the next stage. And this example is just to show you in a real sense how quickly this can be done. 252 results emailed through to you that fast. You can do this with a ton of different industries. You can do gyms, you can do social media agencies, bike shops, you can do absolutely anything. You can do golf courses even. You can do golf courses anywhere within Washington, D.C. Let's do that, for example. And you can get your list loaded through to you so quickly, so easily, that it is just ridiculous. So getting all of these into your email inbox, super fast, super easy, and it takes just a couple of minutes to do. Okay, so also let's go and have a look at some hacks for GoPinLeads. And this is going to be a really good throwback to the questions, the most recent questions by Andrew Randall. What do you use when? So first of all, before I get into that, is how do you remove irrelevant leads? And this is the same way you would do it on Google search. You would just use the hyphen or subtract prefix to remove keywords you don't want. I'll show you how to do that now. So when you are using either the Chrome extension, Google Maps combination, or if you are using the web app, you'll be able to do this very quickly and very easily. Let's revisit our search for gyms near Bristol. You're going to go through it in the same way, select the leads that you want, and press Add Businesses. When you've pressed Add Businesses, you'll see the search filter box on the Leads tab. I've asked it for gyms, okay? But I want to remove any CrossFit gyms because my brand, let's say, hypothetically, is a bad match for CrossFit gyms. That's going to go ahead and remove any CrossFit related keywords from my search. That's how easy it is. That's what you can do to make sure that you are a lot more relevant with your results. Number 2, Andrew, this is for you. Niche searches work best using Google Maps and the Chrome extension, because the tool searches through reviews, boosting accuracy. So realistically, when I did the bike shop search, that should have been done through the Chrome extension Google Maps combination. Niche searches, Andrew, use the Google Maps Chrome extension first, because you're going to be able to get access to data within reviews. That's going to boost the accuracy that you receive. Go and do the web app as supplementary if you wish, but I would say specifically for niche stuff that's going to have reviews, especially use Google Maps and the Chrome extension for that. I hope that answers your question, Andrew. Hotels and accommodation. This is part 2 of my answer to you, Andrew. Hotels and accommodation, hospitality keywords, hotels and the like, use the web app instead. The reason is Google has algorithms that they use to play with your results. So they rank things depending on what's important to them, what they've prioritized using their algorithm. Usually money's involved. Using the web app is going to help you circumvent that and just get the real answers that you need and the best unfettled with leads, Andrew. So yeah, those are 2 answers to your questions. Additionally, city discrepancies. Look, not everybody is tech savvy. Not everyone has set up their online presences accurately. Some people have put in their residential where their work address should be and vice versa. Data is very manipulable from misuse. So basically what you can do to mitigate that is, going back to our search for gyms near Bristol, is you can go and use that same search filter box that we had CrossFit filtered out in, and you can go and reiterate Bristol. Now, you can go into, for example, areas within Bristol if you absolutely want to. But remember, if you get too specific, your leads will start to disappear. We're already down to only 7 out of 20 to begin with, because we're adding in more specifics, and the more specifics you add, the more stuff will be removed. That's the way it works. So it's important to know as well, when you receive your database, what to expect. All right. So your database that you receive from GoPinLeads is going to give you the best chance of making your process as fluid as possible. So very quickly, very easily, you're going to get an email. This is the search we did for golf courses. GoPinLeads golf courses is the title. Scrolling down, you will see that you got the message from Raj at Goodman Lantern. Raj is our chief lantern, and he is our basically driving force behind everything that we do. And he's one of the men who's been absolutely huge in creating these amazing systems. So you'll be able to see that you can download the results. Pressing that button will allow you to download a XLS to open up in Microsoft Excel. You can also, my preference always, press View in Google Sheets. This will show you the database within Google Sheets. Here are the next steps if you do this option. Go to File, press Make a Copy. This will move it out of the Goodman Lantern GoPinLeads server and onto your own Google Drive. That'll allow you to make changes, play with the details within the database, make notes. There are 2 other things I like to do as well, and that is select and delete the top row, as well as select all the cells and change my text wrapping to right through so I can see more details. Here you can see the number of leads that we have received. Huge number of personalized emails. Any section that doesn't have an email, you will not be charged for. Critically, in your database you receive from us, there are 3 tabs. I've touched on this previously. So, tab number 1, businesses. Businesses is the tab where you will be able to see the business details, business name, address, phone number, brick and mortar details, metadata titles, metadata details, URLs, social media accounts, all sorts of great stuff. The next tab along is leads, and these are the personalized emails of people within those companies. You have their first name, their last name, their email address, title, their URLs for their social and their company contact details. So much information. It's amazing. You're going to love it. It's going to make your life a lot easier. The third tab you're not charged for. This is the leads with no names. This is something that we've included because sometimes we get email addresses that we can't reliably extrapolate a name from automatically, but we still want to give you the leads, still want to give you the contact details. So this is what you can go ahead and use. And you can use the example of our webinar business name draft where you say hi business name instead, because that was going to give you the opportunity to go ahead and use this database without changing details or having to type out the names that you may be able to find within the emails. Okay, so that's how the tool works. That's how easy it is. That's what your database looks like. If anyone has any questions right now, please go ahead and pop them in the comments because we are coming towards the end of the session today. I'm going to also be giving you a ton of resources now. While I'm waiting for you to type your questions, I'm going to be giving you some resources that you can use. First of all, though, I want to say thank you. You have my email address on the screen there. I'm going to drop a clickable version into the comments as well, so you can go ahead and send me an email super easily. Andrew, you are the winner of the free one-on-one session. I thank you so much for being super attentive, being here, and including yourself in today's webinar. Always great to have you and lovely to have people who interact quite so much and ask such brilliant questions. Fantastic, Andrew. You are the winner for today. And please do drop me an email to claim your free one-on-one coaching session that's going to cover your specific use case with GoPinLeads. So I'm going to pop my email address into the comments section there. Andrew, please send me an email ASAP. Let's get you hooked up and running. Additionally, my loyal webinar attendees, I'm going to give you links to, first of all, our GoPinLeads Facebook group. I want you to feel support. I want you to feel completely connected with our company, with our community, with our users. You're going to get success. You're going to get contacts. You're going to get so much value. Andrew, it's my pleasure. Andrew says many thanks. It's absolutely my pleasure, Andrew. Please pop me that email and I'm going to sort you out with a personal one-on-one coaching session. Then GoPinLeads extension, which you use with Google Maps, that is the location that you can get to it from the Google Chrome extension web store. This is the GoPinLeads web app. This is the GoPinLeads website. Additionally, I'm going to give you the links through to Yam and LaunchRock. Now, Yam and LaunchRock are the other 2 tools that I've mentioned in today's webinar, so use those to get more information. That's going to help you be successful. Also, remember that when you are using GoPinLeads, you can find additional resources on our website. Our website has support. So if you need help right away, you can either drop us a message on Facebook or get here on our support center. Here you can find links to future webinars. Here you can find video training. Here you can find blogs for inspirations, tips and tools, email marketing templates, growth hacking tips, unsung heroes. That's great resources, success stories to get you inspired, our pricing if you want to step up away from the free package, and then as well a reminder of the products that we have. Go ahead and check out GoPinLeads.com. It should answer all your questions, but also please do pop me an email after this webinar, and Andrew has hopefully going to pop me an email really soon because he's won our awesome coaching session. It's going to be really good to do that. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time, your energy. Today, it's been fantastic to have you here. Thank you, Helga, Kylie, and to Andrew for your interaction, and I will be watching my emails for your messages. Chat soon, and I thank you all once again.